Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. So in our previous lessons, we actually unpacked how food is digested and how respiration releases energy, but have you ever stopped to wonder, how does that oxygen literally reach every single cell in our body? I mean, how does digested food actually make its way down to our muscles and up to our brain? And what about the waste? How is all that efficiently transported down to the kidneys? Well, today we're going to answer exactly that. We're looking at the absolute marvel of a system that makes all this possible.
Okay, so here's our quick blueprint for today. We'll be going over the need for transportation, taking a look inside the human heart, breaking down the components of our blood, mapping out the blood vessel network, understanding double circulation, and then we'll wrap it all up with a quick revision for your exams. But right before we dive into the nitty-gritty, let me throw a little mystery your way. Think about this for a second. Which organ in your body works continuously, day and night, without taking a single break just to keep your life processes going?
Now, if you guess the heart, you are absolutely right. But zooming out a bit, the broader answer is your entire circulatory system. You see, your heart, your blood, and your blood vessels are all working together non-stop. And this continuous, non-stop movement of materials all throughout your body, that's a vital life process we call transportation.
Just to give you an idea of how insanely hard this system works, think about the number 72. That's about how many times the average human heart beats every single minute. Minute after minute, hour after hour. It's constantly working to keep this entire transportation system running flawlessly so you can live and breathe and move around.
All right, Section 1, the need for transportation.
So, if we want to lock down those exam points, we need the formal definition, right? Basically, transportation is the life process by which food, oxygen, hormones, and other useful substances are carried to all parts of the body, while waste is moved to your excretory organs. Literally, without it, your cells would just starve for nutrients and drown in their own waste. It is absolutely crucial.
If we break that down into a quick checklist, there are 6 main reasons why transportation is just fundamentally necessary. It carries oxygen from your lungs to your body cells, it transports your digested food everywhere it needs to go, it moves essential hormones around, it clears out toxic carbon dioxide, it safely carries waste products down to the kidneys, and hey, it even helps maintain your body temperature. It's basically your body's ultimate delivery and waste removal service.
Moving on to Section 2, inside the human heart.
Okay, picture this. Located slightly towards the left side of your chest and roughly the size of your closed fist, you have this compact, incredibly strong muscular organ. And it's divided into 4 specific rooms or chambers. Up at the top, the right atrium receives deoxygenated blood from the body, and right below it, the right ventricle pumps that blood over to the lungs. On the other side, the left atrium receives fresh, oxygenated blood coming back from the lungs, and then the left ventricle pumps that beautiful oxygen-rich blood all the way out to your entire body.
Now this brings up a super common student doubt, and honestly a really frequent exam question. Why is the muscular wall of the left ventricle so much thicker than the right? Well, think about what it has to do. The right ventricle, it just has to gently push blood next door to the lungs. But that left ventricle, it has to pump blood with immense, forceful pressure to reach your brain, your fingertips, and literally all the way down to your toes. So yeah, it requires some serious muscle.
Okay, Section 3, components of our blood.
So if the heart is the engine, the blood is the cargo. And you might actually be surprised by just how much of it you have. The average adult is carrying around 5 liters of this vital fluid. To put that into perspective, that's like carrying around 2.5 large 2-liter soda bottles constantly circulating inside you.
Crazy, right? But blood isn't just one simple red liquid. It is actually a really complex mixture made of 4 main components. First up, we have plasma. That's the liquid part that transports nutrients, hormones, and waste. Then we've got the red blood cells, or RBCs. These guys contain hemoglobin, and their specific job is to transport oxygen from your lungs to your cells. Third on the team are the white blood cells, or WBCs. Think of them as your body's personal security team fighting off infections. And lastly, platelets. They help with blood clotting, so they prevent excessive bleeding whenever you get a cut or a scrape.
Real quick before we move on, let's clear up another common doubt. Why exactly is a liquid like blood classified as a connective tissue in biology? Well, the answer is actually beautifully simple. It's called a connective tissue because it physically and chemically connects all of your body parts together by transporting all these essential substances between them. Makes sense, right?
All right, Section 4, the blood vessel network.
So to safely transport those 5 liters of blood, you've got to know the difference between the biological pipes in your body. Let's compare. Arteries carry high-pressure blood away from the heart, which means they need thick, elastic walls, and they don't have valves. Veins, on the other hand, carry lower-pressure blood towards the heart, so they have thinner walls, but they do have internal valves. Oh, and there's a third, super important type, capillaries. These are absolutely tiny, microscopically thin vessels that connect the arteries to the veins. They're where the actual exchange of oxygen and nutrients happens, right at the cellular level.
Now, I just mentioned that veins have valves, but why? This is a really specific thing students often wonder about. Well, veins have thin walls, and they're frequently carrying blood against gravity, like pushing it from your legs all the way up to your chest. Because the pressure is lower there, they need these internal one-way doors, the valves, specifically to stop the blood from flowing backward.
Moving into Section 5, Understanding Double Circulation.
This right here is the climax of our journey. In humans, blood actually passes through the heart twice during one complete cycle. It's pretty amazing. The first pathway is called pulmonary circulation. Basically, deoxygenated blood leaves the heart, travels over to the lungs, picks up some fresh oxygen, and then heads right back to the heart. So that entire loop exists solely just to get the blood oxygenated. Then, once that oxygen-rich blood is back inside the heart, the second pathway kicks off. This is systemic circulation. The heart forcefully pumps this newly oxygenated blood out to your entire body, supplying nutrients to every single cell. After that, the oxygen-depleted blood goes back to the heart to start the whole shebang all over again. So it's heart to body and back to heart.
So what's the big advantage of this double circulation system for us? Crucially, it strictly prevents the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. And because they're kept totally separate, our bodies get supplied with oxygen incredibly efficiently. This high-efficiency supply is exactly what allows humans and other mammals to maintain the high energy levels we need to keep our body temperature stable and just live a really active life.
And finally, Section 6, Quick Revision and Exam Prep.
Okay, if you want to crush your board exams, make sure you can confidently check off this list. You need to be able to define transportation. You should definitely know how to draw and label the 4 chambers of the heart. Make sure you know the distinct functions of plasma, RBCs, WBCs, and platelets. Be able to differentiate between arteries, veins, and capillaries. And finally, be able to explain double circulation and why it's so advantageous. Mastering those key areas is your absolute ticket to top marks. So, wrapping up, transportation is without a doubt one of our most vital life processes. It ensures your cells survive and your body's waste is cleared out, beat after beat, minute after minute. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. If your circulatory system never takes a single rest to keep your body alive and perfectly energized, how are you going to use that high energy today? Think about that for a bit. And when you're ready, join me for our next explainer where we're going to decode the totally fascinating world of transportation in plants. Keep learning, and I'll see you next time.